Funny, been doing a bunch of hiking recently, and I have a different pack for hiking, and I took my freaking Zoleo GPS communicator out and put it in that other pack, and then like a moron I get up here in the middle of nowhere and realize I don't have my GPS communicator. Now, I actually do have cell phone service right here because I just sent a couple of text messages, but as soon as I drop down off this, I'm not going to have any cell service. But if you're wondering, this is steep as all crap, and I'm up on the Sherco, standing up. It is always a better idea to stand up when you're doing off-road motorcycling and you're going downhill. I mean, we can make arguments about sitting, standing when we're climbing, blah, 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 and I'll do a mix of both. But when I start going downhill, it's stand up, push those arms back, push those hips back, click up into second. I'm gonna let this bike roll for a sec, but I like to keep it running. I like to keep my bike running. I mean, I know some guys will like shut them off on like long sustained downhills. I don't do that very often. I like to keep the bike running so I can keep the flow, because there's always times where so here's that downhill. I'm just gonna, oh yeah, right there on the skid plate. Shift up to second. But I don't like to see, I've got the clutch out, but I'm dragging my rear brake, so I'm not using like engine braking. I'm just letting the bike kind of go, and then I'll pull in my clutch at times like there. I'm like, it was getting too fast, and I don't want to just have my RPMs get too high while my throttle's closed. I just don't like that on a two-stroke. I think I talked about an engine braking touch in a recent video, actually while I was riding the Sherco. So yeah, the pegs, these Fastway pegs, I'm not like 100% like in love with them, because of the way that when I get them swept, so there's an upward camber, they're also swept back, and then I don't like that as much. Puts pressure on my toes under the balls of my feet. I do like that my feet are a little bit lower, but you can't tell a ton. I might end up trying either like a little bit higher bend of bars in the front, or maybe just like if I could get like a 10 millimeter bar riser or something. It's just, my hands are just a little bit more cramped on this guy, and it takes a little bit more out of me than on even my Honda that the Hondas that I recently had, 250 RX, 450 RX, and of course the KTMs, you get to stretch out a lot more on the Katos as opposed to this Sherco. So such a good balance to this bike though. I just need to get my suspension softened just slightly, I think. I may run this down to Moto Experts. I know those guys have some really good settings for like mountain enduro single track. That's where I bought the bike, and they're a custom suspension shop as well. So, man, I should mention again, they jetted this bike before it left the shop, and holy Jezebel, they got it really, really good. I had to turn my air screw just slightly on that first ride, but other than that, I mean, the bike is running really nice. I was like lug to get up here, you know, and I thought I was gonna have a bunch of spooge running out of my silencer. Thing is bang on clean. I mean, those guys they got it really dang close, and I've never seen a dealer ever do that ever before. Jet the motorcycle, jet the two-stroke before it leaves. Such a smart thing for the dealer to do. Hey, and if you've got a dealer anywhere where they're jetting your two-stroke for your riding elevation, your general elevation before you leave, holy crap, hang on to those guys, because that's a legit thing, you know. It never happened to me before. But yeah, it's on like these sustained downhills where you're up on the pegs anyway and pushing back on the bars. It's in those situations that I just end up getting more and more fatigue at a faster rate because of the cramped nature. This is just better for people like 5'10". I'm 6 feet tall. I just feel a little tall on this bike. That's all there is to it. You know? Stagehand right there. It's in third gear. Click back into second. Got the sun shining right into my goggles here. It's hard enough to see. Got how quiet the bike is. That's another thing. This Sherco is pretty freaking quiet. When you want it to be. Obviously, if you're on the pipe, it's not crazy quiet, but just lugging around through here, you could easily sneak up on somebody. Just idling like this. Man, those flowers are so pretty. Those purple flowers. Ouch! Oh my gosh, that thing whipped up and hit me in the right hand. That leg branch. This is a piece of poo right there. That wasn't fun to lift the bike over on the way up. Feel the temperature rising just a touch as I descend. Not quite as cool. It still feels really comfortable, but I can tell the temperature's edging up a bit. Up there where I was kind of at the peak where I turned around, sat down for a few minutes, had a little energy bar and had a little water, and my sweat was freezing on me. I was like, I gotta get moving. It's always so strange, and it happens all the time when you kick a rock in front of you. Like it gets caught in like your knobbies or something, and then when it comes back around, it hits your like frame. I mean your fork guard, and then it like gets dislodged, and it goes flipping forward. It happens to me all the time. Like I would say, most rides I end up seeing. That was a little bit. I came on a weird angle onto that. Most rides I see something like a little rock get flipped up in front of me. And if you're wondering if this is a Rocky son of a bee, yes it is. She is. It's so pretty right there. I'm gonna be down in the bottom of this canyon in just a second. Look at that little cave. I don't know if you can see that. It's like there's a cave thing right up there on the side of the mountain. That is rugged terrain, man.